morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Carrington. Not your first time here, hi, welcome back. If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, tossing in some book stuff here and there, you're definitely going to want to go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you're notified of all my future uploads. And let's get into today's video, which is testing out some more Sephora makeup. I just ordered a little bit more of the Sephora makeup. So yeah, it wasn't like a lot, so I don't feel like we have a lot, but we do have some good stuff. So the first things that we have are these from Rare Beauty. It's the lip liner and lipstick. I do have a dark brown one as well that I haven't been able to try, but I think for like the eye look that I'm going for, this is going to be the best option. Then I have this from Voss. This is the light soft bronzer. Light soft bronze bronzer, yes. This is what it looks like on the inside. And then I bought a couple more Pat McGrath options. So first of all, we have this one right here, which is Aphrodite Amore, which is a kind of like a muted bubblegum pink. And then you have this, which is like a dusty rose, like a light dusty rose. So when you swatch these, here is that like light bubblegum pink, and here's that dusty rose. They're both pretty light. So I would say if you like light, more natural type colors, this is what you'll like. And then this is the two mixed together. We do have another one as well. This is the Pat McGrath Labs. This one is in Night Bloom. All right, so we have this red, we have the purple, and then you swirl them together and it's kind of like a pinky purple type shade, which makes sense because that, you know, yeah, that makes sense. Next up is I got the Dior Backstage Air Flush. All right, Carrington, come on. Air Flash Foundation. I've been wanting to try this for a long time, but it's just like so expensive. So I finally got a gift card. I bit the bullet. This is what I bought. The Air Flash Spray Foundation. Mine I got in one cool, 1C. That's what I've got. That's their lightest. And then I have a couple of palettes, but I think I only want to use one. So first up we have the Violet Voss Forget Me Not. And this is a ton of like, there's one orange, but a lot of like blues in it. Mostly it's blues. Some like pinkiness, but definitely some blues. So if you guys are excited to see what look I create, or what I think of these products, then definitely keep on watching. So I've zoomed you cool cat and kittens, and we have 4 mattes. I'm not really wanting to use this matte. I don't know what it is. So I guess I'm just gonna go in with these and kind of, I don't know, come up with a look from there. First off, I'm gonna start with this shade right here. Again, no shade names. I'm just gonna coat my brush and just lightly start working that in and bring it all the way up, which is kind of more of like my transition areas up here, thanks to my hooded eyes. So then I'm going to take that exact same brush. I'm going to go next into this shade right here. It's a little bit darker than the other one. And the other two I feel like are at like the exact same intensity. Where I feel like one's not overly going to provide depth over the other one. But we'll try it. We'll see. So last for outer corner is going to be this more darker shade. And I'm just going to stamp that in. Again, I just don't feel it's like much darker than the other shade. Like, I don't think it's going to provide a lot of depth. So I'm just stamping it in and then just kind of lightly blending it more towards the inner portion, but not going super far. It's like right there. So we definitely have some shimmer options. These are probably like the only shimmers that I would really want to go in with. So we have this one, no, no. I kind of like these two. Maybe we can go in with both. So I'm going to take that like darker one right here, and I'm going to start working that on like the center to outer corner, outer part of the eye. Like just stamping it on there. Ooh, yeah. Then I'll go in with this lighter one right here and start kind of mixing them. So I have lashes liner on, I have primer on. So now we're going to move on into this. The Dior Air Flash, water resistant. Then it just says warnings. But on this specifically, it doesn't tell you how to use. Where's the package? Where's the package? Okay, this does. This is something that I don't really care for. Like the how to use, I feel like should be on the actual product, especially if it's something like really like innovative or like different than normal. Just because a lot of people don't keep the boxes. I know some people do. I am not one of them, unless it's just like the cutest thing that's ever happened in my life. So shake for 5 seconds before use. For optimal makeup results, spray onto the buffing brush that they have, then apply in circular motions onto the face, gently dabbing onto areas that require more coverage. Spray more onto the brush and apply as needed depending on how much coverage you prefer. I don't know. You think that's 5 seconds? Guess that's 5 seconds. Okay. So, spray onto a brush. Okay. Ooh, interesting. Ah! Is this going to be too dark? Not again. Oh, okay. Alright, okay. Well, alright. Just nicely and slowly here. And just start buffing it out. And we'll just kind of stipple it as well. Go over the nose area. Come down here as well. Huh, interesting. Interesting. Does anybody else think this is kind of yellow for a cool shade? I don't know. It's just me. Maybe. Does this have more coverage? Hold on. Hold please. Let's see what happens when I stipple as well. Does that provide any more coverage? Why do I feel like that's like not the coverage I need? Okay, let's like try this. One more pump. Okay, interesting. Then I'm just gonna start stippling this end on the forehead. I don't want like a ton of coverage up there, but I don't think it looks bad. What do you guys think? Do you guys think this looks bad? I don't know. So far I think it looks pretty good. Let me check. Ooh. Yeah. No, this is nice. This is very nice. I think one thing first I'm going to bring this down. But I think like the other thing that like I'm going to do is just lightly. Okay, very lightly. Take my sponge and just like press out all around my face. Just kind of see if that helps any to make it look, I don't know, even more better. Although I do think this looks really good now. Like, do you see this? Wow. I do feel like the sponge is definitely helping to really like sink in the product even more. Interesting. So I do like this. I think it gave the coverage that like I wanted. I don't feel like it's too full coverage, but also not like super non-coverage either, if that makes sense. So now we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna move on into the lower lash line portion. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that lightest shade and I am just going to just kind of smoke that out underneath the lash line. Might take me a minute to get some good pigmentation, but eventually we'll get there. For the rest of the line, I honestly think that like these two just look so super similar. So I'm just going to take that blue and I'm just going to run that just up, a little bit farther up from the first shade. But yeah, I don't feel like either of them really look that different. Next up we have this Kosas bronzer, which looks like this. I think that's really nice and light. It is shimmery and it does have like some, whoa, wow, that's a lot of kick up. Like it is a lot of kick up, but it has some glittery specks. So one, if you're not into shimmery bronzers, you're not gonna like this. Two, if you don't like glitters in your bronzer, no matter if it's shimmery or not, you're not gonna like this. But I do think that the color is really pretty. Like I'm really liking the color. I think that looks really nice. It's like almost like really nice and just, I don't know, soft, neutral type of a bronzer. And then also this has a ton of kick up when you like try to swirl your brush in. So you would like have to tap it. You kind of like have to like tap it like that to not get as much fallout. So just also something to be mindful. If you don't like fallout, you don't want to risk any of the fallout getting all over your clothes and stuff, this ain't gonna be for you, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so I think this looks really pretty. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Okay, I don't necessarily know if this is the bronzer issue, but like I keep getting some patchiness right along here. But I did set my face. I set my face pretty well with my Makeup Forever HD matte powder. I have been loving that powder lately, loving it. So I don't know if that's the issue or if it is the bronzer that's the issue, because like as you can tell, like it has just like patched up. So definitely something I'm gonna have to play around with more. But then we have those two Pat McGrath blushes. So we had the one that was a little bit more pink and purple versus this one, which is just like a little bit more neutral. I want something that's just, it's gonna be a little bit more neutral. So, oh, nope, I did not pick the one that's a little bit more neutral. All right, so here's like the more neutral one. I think I want to, do I want to mix them? You know what, let's just go ahead and let's just like mix them. And then just start, you know, filling in my face. Filling in, no, Karen, it's not even filling in your cheeks. I'm gonna start stippling it in. There we go. That's what I meant to say this whole time. Why it took me 10 years to say it, the world may never know. I still don't know. I really do like the Pat McGrath blush formulas. They're just so beautiful. Like just the way they just like, I don't know, just like blend into the skin, provide such like a beautiful coverage. This one also is just like super shiny, as you can tell, but I really do enjoy those. It is lip time, but I do want to make a note of something. On both sides, like right in here, there's no foundation. When I was putting on highlighter, like right there, it just started pilling. Like it was just like pilling. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? So when I was putting on, did I say foundation? When I was putting on highlighter, don't know which one I said now. But when I was putting on like the highlighter, it was just pilling. And again, I had sat my whole face. So at first, when it was just happening here, I was thinking maybe it had something to do with like the cream products, or maybe it was just like the bronzer. But the fact that it was happening here as well makes me think potentially it could be the foundation. So I will have to play around with that. But let's go ahead and let's dive on into the lip liners and the Rare Beauty. So I have Creative, which is like this light pink, and then I have like this dark brown, which is Strong. What I think I want to do is take the Strong lip liner and like blend it out, and then put Creative in the center. It could look bad. Like, honestly, it could look bad, but never know if you don't try. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start lining the lips. So now we have lined the lips. It is to fill them in. I lined them and I kind of blurred out the parts that I had put right in here to kind of help with the more ombre-ness. So this right here is the shade Creative. I love the way that these open and close. I love it. Okay, I just love it. So again, this is the shade Creative. So this is the completed and final look, testing out some new products that I had bought from Sephora. What do you guys think of this look? I think it turned out pretty good. Again, I am not much of a blue person. I am not, but I bought it anyways because it was on sale for like $10. So I was like, $10. Even if it's blue, it can't be that bad. And again, I personally enjoy the Violet Voss formula. I think it's a pretty decent formula, especially for it being a Sephora palette. I think, you know, the price tag that it can be, I think it was on sale for half off. So I think they're usually like $20 with like these like fun size ones is what they're called. So I thought that was decent, even for $10. I was like, listen, even if it's terrible, it can't be that terrible. So let's get into my final thoughts. Let's get into ranking these palettes from my least favorite to my most favorite. So in last place, this was kind of in a way a tough ranking. It's this Dior Air Flash. So I thought when I put it on, one, it looked beautiful. It was like the perfect amount of coverage, so easy to blend in. I felt like having the sponge really helped. I just thought it was just like very beautiful. It was still kind of glowy, dewy. I loved the way that it looked. So I was so disappointed that after I had done my cream products, sat my face, and then went to go over it with powder products, that everything was just starting to pill. And at first I was blaming the Kosas bronzer because that was like the very first place that it really started to pill. So I was like, okay, you know what, maybe it's the bronzer. Maybe this bronzer is just really hard to work with. And you know, if that's the case, that's fine. But then when I was putting on my highlight, I've lost my foundation here. Up here is pilling as well. And at that point I was like, okay, that definitely can't be the bronzer this time. And I've used the highlighter that I've used quite a few times, and it hasn't done that with any other foundation or products that I've used. But this one did. So I don't know if maybe I need to set it more. I don't know if there's another way to like work with this. I don't know. But I just have like so many pilling spots after using that, even though I sat my face with a matte powder, that I'm just like, you know, I definitely need to play with it more. Okay, this is just first impression. I definitely need to play with it more, but I definitely need to figure out what products I need to use with it, and then kind of base off of, does it pill up with all products? Does it pill up with just powder products? Does it pill up, like, was this just like a fluke accident? It's like something like that. So the fact that this was like hellaciously expensive, we're talking like $62, I was hoping for a little bit more. But again, I'll play around with it. Next up is going to be this Violet Voss Forget Me Not palette. So again, I think Violet Voss's formula is really good. The issue that I have with this is there's 4 mattes. You have a coral, a random just like coral, and then you have 3 other mattes. So I was trying to do a look using just these 3, but then I noticed these 2 right here, they just look almost the same. to each other. Like I feel like it doesn't, like using them both doesn't provide a ton of depth. I didn't feel like, wow, that's so different. I didn't really feel like that. I thought that was decent. So honestly, there's probably maybe like a couple shimmers I honestly could have done without. First one is just like this right here. It's just so dark. It's like a multi-chrome-ish. Like you've got like the black, this green, and it's got like a purple shift in it too. So I could see, that being beautiful. But then again, it's also really dark, like compared to the rest of the, like even eyeshadow mattes that you have, which I'm not really a huge fan of, like putting like super dark on the lids. Like, I don't know, just not my thing. And then I think like these two, also super similar. Like it looks different when you swatch them, but I've put them on my eyes and they just look the same. So I would have appreciated maybe like a little bit more in depth of a matte, and I would have appreciated maybe a couple different shimmers, like something light enough to put in the inner corner. I don't know, just something like that. This didn't give it to me. Next up is going to be these lip liners from Rare Beauty. I struggled in a way with these. I think that they are really creamy. They glide on super easily, but my issue was getting it to like stay lined. Like I've had to line my lips now like 4 or 5 times. That's a lot of having to line your lips. Like that's a ton. So I just feel like I'll go through these super, super quickly. I don't know what the staying power is. Oh, actually, they might have really good staying power. Okay. They might have some pretty good staying power, but again, I shouldn't have to line my lips 5 or 6 times for it to get like some sort of pigmentation. I should be able to have to do it like once or twice. That wasn't the case with this. I was kind of like, all right. Next up is going to be the Rare Beauty lipsticks. I definitely like these. I think it's a really nice, comfortable formula. Glides on really easily. I love the way it opens. I think it's just ranked a little bit lower just for the simple fact that I am more of a liquid lipstick type of person. I'm not super into lipsticks right now. I was for a while. Now I'm on the liquid lipstick train. Trying to get back on the lipstick train, but I just haven't quite yet. So actually this is really good. I really love just like how easily it glided on. It was easy to work with, really nice, really creamy. Just not quite a lipstick girl, but I'm trying. Next up is going to be this Kosas bronzer. Again, I honestly thought that it was the bronzer that was the issue, but I found it wasn't. So I love the color of this. For me, being as fair as I am, I just love the color of it. I love how nice and light it is. It looks super, super natural on the skin. It does have a little bit of a shimmer. I wouldn't say it's like, wow, that's overly shimmery. It does have some of those glitter specks in it. Is it? Yeah, I actually don't see any of the glitter specks once I put it on. So those kind of disappear, but it is still really nice and sheeny. The last one, number 1 spot, is going to be this Pat McGrath blush. Again, I just love her formula. I think I love the duos more than like just the one color, and the reason why is just like if you were going out of town and you just took 1 or 2 of these, that would give you either 3 or 6 options, right? So you can go in just here, or swirl. So if you even brought 1 or 2 of these, you already have multiple options. You either have 3 to 6 options that you can choose from for any look. Again, I love the way that this like sinks and melts into the skin. It doesn't really look bad on the skin. Like it just blends right in effortlessly. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it where I feel like if you didn't really want to bring highlight, I feel like this provides a lot of glow. I did add some highlight on top, but honestly, after I put it on, I honestly would have been okay if I didn't put any more highlight on, but I'm a highlight queen, so that's what we did. And I just love the way that it works. I love the colors that she chose. I love how well they work together. It's just overall an amazing blush formula. I know that it's expensive. Okay, I hear you. I get it. It's expensive, but dang, is it good. So that is it for today's video. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Click the little bell so you can be notified of all notifications from me. Also, don't forget to go and follow me over on Instagram. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.